Hi, and welcome to English 0365 Weekly Notes, Week 6. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for the feedback you gave me this week. Very useful. Most of you reported that you're spending anywhere between 9 and 12 hours per week, except for one person who reported spending 20 to 25 hours per week. Um, I would say that 8 to 10 hours is about right, and I would like to give you a suggested time frame to see if you are spending this amount of time. So for the review chapter summary and discussion questions from the previous week, I would say that you can spend up to 30 minutes. Make sure that you go to the review summary for the chapter because that will give you a good idea of what the chapter is about. The same with the discussion questions. I have posted model answers and you can compare those model answers to yours. Then you start with this week preview questions. I would say no more than 15 to 30 minutes. You basically need to look for the answers without really reading the chapter yet. It's just to get acquainted. Then you study the chapter using the PowerPoint for the chapter. One of you, I think it was Anissa, reported that she was using now the PowerPoints and she found it easier. So I hope the rest of you are doing the same. Start at the beginning of the chapter and work through it till you get to review test number 3. Use the PowerPoint that comes with the book as it guides you and helps you to review. I would say that's probably the most time consuming besides outliers. That should take you about 90 minutes. Then you can complete 2 to 3 mastery tests or as needed. If you think you need more, you can do more, about 30 to 45 minutes. Of course, you're going to do mastery tests when you go online as well, so probably 2 to 3 is enough. Then you go to the reading text, and that's you do all of the reading, including the questions. Should take you about an hour, I would say, if you want to do a thorough job. And then you do the online mastery tests, about half an hour. And then outliers. I'd say that it's really important that you don't do outliers once read the whole thing in one day. I would read about 30 minutes a day for about 4 days, plus a little more maybe. So that's about 2 hours. This week there's about 25 pages, so maybe 5 pages a day. Make sure you annotate, you take some notes, and then on the last day you're ready to answer the questions. That will take you about another hour to answer the questions. Then we have the discussion board. If you read what other people have posted, which of course it's the main idea of what you're doing is not for just to post yourself, but to get acquainted with others, that should take between 30 to 45 minutes. That includes going back, reading posts and posting again. And then other PowerPoint or any other materials, about 30 minutes. So that puts you to about 8 hours for the week. So I hope this schedule proves helpful so you can see what you're doing against what others are doing. I asked about the difficulty of the course. Some of you say that you think it's about right. However, several of you found it challenging, which I think is great. This week we had a panel discussion for the Global Friendship Club where 4 students who are already in college came to us. And one of the things they told us is how challenging it was once they started regular classes, especially history classes, sociology classes, and they found the vocabulary to be the most challenging. But they also said how much the reading skills that they had learned in our reading classes in ESOL had helped them. So I want to focus a little bit on vocabulary because that's probably one of the most difficult things. What I would do is select about 8 to 10 words per reading. Get some vocabulary cards that you can make yourselves. On one side of the card you write the word, on the other side you write the meaning, and then you write sentences. Or you can keep a vocabulary log. but try to use those sentences as much as you can and use those words. So some of the words are active, that means you're going to be using them all the time, and others are just for passive use. But I would say try not to do more than about 10 words per reading, because when you're doing more than 10 words, then you're looking up too many words and it slows you back a lot. So try to apply the skills that we learned at the beginning of the semester, which is reading from context, and the rest of the time, try to figure out the words from there. But then 8 to 10 words consistently. Do your vocabulary cards, review them every day, do your log. That should help you a little bit with vocabulary. The next point I asked you was about communication, and most of you felt that we are communicating enough. But what we're doing now, you have daily assignments, I go through them, and I give you individual feedback, sometimes more detailed than others, but that is communication. I answer emails as soon as they come in, normally in a few hours. And then, of course, we have the discussion board, sometimes more than one discussion board. And then, of course, the email. One or two of you ask me, how do you email each other? So let me show you where the email is and how you can communicate with each other. Okay, so I'm in the inbox here, so I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to go here to compose message, and here I'm going to click to. Now you can't just write the name there, so you go here to the letters, and let's say that you want to communicate with Elnas. So here I click on Elnas' name, and I click here on to, and here her name appears. I say OK, and then the subject, hello, and I sent a message to Elnas. So that's how it goes. So the thing with Angel is that you cannot write the name here, but you have to go to and select the name, and the first name or the last name works. So I want to communicate with somebody with M, Mauro, for example. I select Mauro, to, and then OK. So that's a way you can communicate with each other. And of course, I'm open to other suggestions. Do you have other tips or other ways that you think that it would be good to communicate? Send everyone an email. You can select everyone, or you can come to the discussion board and offer some suggestions there. Okay, the other thing before announcements is this week we only have one reading. I'm gonna try to make it a little bit more efficient for you. Concentrate on the first reading. The first reading on Julia Burney. It's a really interesting reading, and I've put a link there so you can go to her webpage. You can go to her Facebook page. She's a real person who really made a difference in her community, so it'll be really interesting. Okay, one announcement I want to make is that this week I have to leave town on Friday, and I won't be back until Monday. Unfortunately, I have to go to a funeral of a very, very dear person. She was my host mom when I first arrived in this country, and she has been basically my mom for all the years, and her daughter is my best friend and like a sister to me. So she died, and so I'm going to her funeral in Idaho. I probably won't have access to email, so don't expect for me to answer emails this weekend. I'll try to check once if I can. I'm leaving all the assignments for next week ready, so if you don't hear from me right away, know that I'm not with access. And then next week we have the midterm, which is Friday, October 25th through Monday, October 28th. Please send me an email this week and let me know where you're going to take the midterm. Is it going to be at the Fairbanks location, or at our Barker Cypress location, or you can take it in any of other campuses. So if Tomball is closer to you, you can take it there. So please let me know this week, because I want to leave the midterms ready before I leave. Just sending an email is fine. Make sure that you are there. You have to be there for 2 hours. and basically it covers units 1 through 6. You need to take an ID with you, and that's all. So that's all I have for you this week. Hope you have a great week, and we'll be in touch.